And they try, some of these nations, they want to serve, the scriptures say, the Gentiles, they serve on their own. Not because they're chosen. You understand? They're going to be blessed by what? By honoring us. That's why they're all jacked up. How can you disrespect the Most High's children and think you're going to be prosperous? You understand? That's why their kingdom is coming to an end. And a lot of these nations know that their kingdom is coming to an end. That's why it says that Satan going to come down with great wrath, knowing that what? His time is short. You understand? And he's going through like a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. So we got to be in our P's and Q's. You're not going to see Satan walk around with a pitchfork, with a red suit on. You understand? He's coming. There's a movie that Denzel Washington played in. It's called what's the name of that movie? Fallen. Okay, show you how spirits jump from person to person. You understand? You come in contact with that spirit. So we gotta be mindful that these spirits work through the minds and ways of people. And a lot of times, a person may do something to you. It's not actually that person. It's that spirit that temporarily took over that person's body. Okay, and whether it be a good spirit or an evil spirit is controlling that person. So now the time we want to, physically or get into it with that person. And a lot of times a person that's being used by Satan don't really know. You understand? Because the scriptures say that what? The Most High, he's over what? Good and evil. But we pray the Most High don't use us for the evil. And the only way that we avoid being used by the evil is by being these laws, statutes, and commandments. And the scriptures talk about being around like-minded people that are in the law, statutes, and commandments of God. So if you're around people that's doing wickedness and all kind of course, it's going to rub off on you. Or you're going to be, engulfed by wickedness. Okay, so it's good that, a lot of you spend more time with people at your job in the world than you spend with people in Israel. How are you unequally yoked? If you find yourself spending more time with people in the world than Israel, you got to check yourself. Something's not right with you.
That's right.
Okay? You're Clark Kent Superman. All right, so like I said, this is a heritage, it's a way of life. It's not like people say, well, what religion are you? This is not a religion. This is who we are. When you say that, the scripture, that's why it says, when you take on saying that, give me Deuteronomy 10 and 12. Get that for me, please, quick. Deuteronomy 10 and 12.
Deuteronomy 10 verse 12. And now Israel, what doeth the Most High thy power require of thee?
Okay, so now you accepted that you were Israelite, right? But now there's a requirement. There's a requirement now saying, okay, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. And what is that? It's the culture, it's the way you dress. Okay? It's the way you interact, it's the way you articulate, the way you speak. The way you carry yourself, your dietary law. I remember, when I would go to work on the plantation, they would actually, some people would sit down next to me just to look and see what I'm eating. One time, there's a guy I do business with. One day I'm in the supermarket. He actually stood behind me just to see what I was putting in my shopping cart. If there was any pork products, anything in my shopping cart.
Right.
And I teach that in class, but to actually go out and see people actually doing that. He actually, was looking at my card to see, because he made a joke out of what he saw, because when you discern spirits, I knew that's what he was doing. But I know I don't eat pork, anything like that, so I'm not worried. But the fact that he was actually looking in my cart to see if I had some pork or shrimp in my cart, it was hilarious. But the day that you say that people, you're telling people Israelite, they're going to watch what you wear, watch what you eat, watch what you say. Okay, so that's why. Read it again.
And now Israel, what doeth Yahweh thy power require of thee?
So it's a requirement, just like you have your 9 to 5. If you start work at 9 o'clock, you can't go to work at 10 o'clock. They tell you you gotta take lunch at 1 o'clock. You can't say, well, I'm going at 3 o'clock, or I'm taking an early lunch. Okay, so there's a requirement. The Most High has a requirement that we obey His law, statute, commandment. We have the faith of the Masharah. Come on.
But to fear Yahweh thy power, to walk in all His ways, to love Him.
Right, so we know that loving the Most High is doing what? How we show we love the Most High?
Keeping the commandments.
We keeping the commandments. A lot of people use that term loosely, love. Like you have that Lauryn Hill song, and the guy asks, well, what does love mean to you? What's your definition of love? You go to I could line up 10 different people that are in the world and ask them, what is love? Their definition, I'll get 10 different answers. But we have the true definition. Why? Because the Most High let us know what's pleasing to Him. See, that's an important thing. That's what Scripture say. What advantages did have the Jew? It's an advantage of being an Israelite. It's an advantage, but we don't see the importance. The white man that says he's a Jew, he knows the importance of being a Jew. Why? Because he spent billions of dollars stealing our identity. That is the biggest case of identity theft. In America, they have laws for stealing your identity. You got to pay reparation. You go to jail time. Imagine if Esau, that's why the Most High said what? There shall no more be left of Esau. For stealing our identity, okay, for taking all our riches, he cannot pay us back. For stealing our name, by taking all our resources. So what the Most High said He's going to do, He's going to ultimately get rid of Esau. Because in their country, they enforce their laws. So the Most High is going to enforce His law. But a lot of our people, when we're out there teaching and hear them, well, what about the white man? You're not even asking about what about your brothers and sisters. You want to know what about the white man. The white man don't care about you. So we got to learn to love ourselves. We got to love ourselves and love our own people. Okay? So let's go back to Leviticus. So we 22.
It's chapter 22.
22, verse 22. Blind or broken or maimed or having a wen or scurvy or scab, you shall not offer these unto the Most High, nor make an offering by fire of them upon the altar unto Yah. Either a bullock or a lamb that have anything superfluous or lacking in its parts, that mayest thou offer for a freewill offering, but for a vow it shall not be accepted.
Right, it's not accepted if it's damaged. Right, it has to be whole, has to be good, has to be the best, or else it's not accepted. Read on.
Either a bullock or a lamb that have anything, right there. 24. Ye shall not offer unto the Most High that which is bruised,
right,
or crushed, or broken, or cut. Neither shall ye make an offering thereof in your land.
Come on.
Neither from a stranger's hand shall ye offer the bread of your power of any of these, because their corruption is in them, and blemishes be in them, they shall not be accepted for you.
Right, so y'all people that said, neither shall I make an offering in your land. What does that mean? What was the issue there? What was that going into? Neither shall I make an offering in that land. Right, who knows the history on that? It's going into the fact that you got to bring your offering to the tabernacle.
Right.
You couldn't be doing offerings somewhere in the back. You're over there in the land of Ephraim, and you're going to do your offerings over there. Because you don't want to go to where the tabernacle's at. I'm just going to do my offerings right here. Okay? You can't do that.
That's right.
You have to bring your offerings where the Most High prescribed your offerings to go.
That's right.
Okay? You couldn't decide you're going to set up anywhere. Well, I'm just going to do, that's a long trip. I'm just going to do my oblations right here. What are you doing?
Right.
Okay? That's a slothful mind. But a lot of times, bringing it to what? To our life now, in His kingdom, a lot of times we know we're supposed to give our offerings to our whatever sanctuary that we're a part of. But we want to say, oh, I gave offerings to the guy in the street. He wanted a a loaf of bread and I gave that offering. So that suffices what you're supposed to give the sanctuary.
Right.
It doesn't work that way.
Right.
Not saying you cannot do good to brothers out there, but your offering that you have, however your sanctuary is set up,
Right.
that you have been obligated to give to your sanctuary, you cannot give that nowhere else but to your sanctuary. You understand that? Because that's how we built things. We came together and built things. As a nation, we got to learn how to work together as a nation. Right? Many hands working on one project. That's not how you're taught in this world. In this world, you're taught to be what? Individualites. Right? Every man look out for their own thing. Teach them what individualism. Right? But here we learn to be Israelites. Which means that what? We work as a body. Remember, Israel is not a land, it's a man. That had a family. So we all family. We all cousins. You know what I mean? We all cousins. Alright, so we all family. So we gotta learn to work together as a family. Right? Not to go off and say, I'm gonna do my own thing over here somewhere in the stratosphere. Among somebody else. Nobody even know. No account to what you're doing. Alright, and who you're doing it for. Alright? So now, you know, in your respective schools, in your respective areas, make sure you reverence, right, your sanctuary, which is part of the law. Right? Those who went through the last portion went into that. That you gotta reverence your sanctuary. Okay? All right, so this is important. It's very important, man. This ain't, you know, you don't gotta have that mentality like, you know, and you know what, in the churches, these people know that this pastor is doing wickedness with their money, and they still give it. Faithfully. They don't miss a week. And they clearly see that pastor rolling in that Bentley, and they on the bus, and they continue to give them their money. And you look at them like, what is the disconnect here? Right? But in Israel, we have to understand that, listen, we have to, scriptures say, loose thy money for thy brethren. That's what the scriptures say, that's law. Right? So we have to be, you know, or we get gain, we don't just get gain for what we need. He said, every man labor that they may have enough to what? To give. Not just what they need, but enough to give. So when you exact your wages, make sure that when you exact them, that you have your portion.